Hi, this is Maginoni, and let's talk about Marvel now. I was originally going to do this with previews, but Marvel now is just too big to talk about. And now I know that there's going to be a lot of you out there who probably go, I really hate the concept of Marvel now. And I hate all these relaunches, and I hate. And there's a part of me that agrees with you because you can tell they're not necessarily being motivated on creativity. What they're doing is they're being motivated on sales. Now, if you look at, and I keep saying now, if you look at DC Zero, or not DC Zero, but the DC 52 relaunch, a lot of people said that it was utter garbage. They hated it. But if you look at the results of it, overall comic book sales are up, I think, 17 something percent compared to last year. So that's like a good thing when you see the sales go up. Also, when you look at the DC, you can see where a lot of their a lot of their storylines are. It's all profit driven. You have the 52 relaunch. You have the before Watchmen. You have the Zero issues, and on the flip side, over here on Marvel side, you have AVX, the Versus AVX. You have the minis from that, and then now you have Marvel Now. Part of me actually not part of me, I really do think if Marvel was going to do a relaunch, this is the way to do it. Because to do a relaunch, all you're going to see is people complain and point fingers and say, look at that, Marvel's just copying DC. And then I think their entire relaunch is going to lose what it really, the important parts to it, because they're just going to focus on their copying. So all really Marvel's really doing is just doing creative shifts, and they're fine-tuning some stuff. And I wish some of their fine-tuning had happened a long time ago. And we didn't need to have this big event to happen. So anyways, let's take a look. Now, first off, we have Indestructible Hulk. Now, it looks like the Hulk is going to get the Banner intelligence back, and he's going to be kicking some butt. Now, you have Mark Waid and you on this. I did not like Yu's artwork at all, but slowly it's improved. I think it's improving, and I'm growing to like it a lot more. I think with Mark Waid behind this book is going to be amazing. It's going to be really good. He's been very solid with Irredeemable, Incorruptible, and Daredevil. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Wade's going to do to the Hulk. This is definitely going on my pull list. This is not going to be on my pull list. Alright, Uncanny Avengers. Uncanny Avengers is probably going to be the #1 book of the month. I think it's going to smash DC, and it's definitely going to be the book to look at for Marvel. Because this is the one where we're going to combine Avengers and XMen together. It's written by Rick Remender, and it's gonna be like a big deal. Now, there's one book that could potentially top this one, and which I'll go over in just a second. Now, my only concern about this is the fact that it's the Red Skull. And it's not the Red Skull that we know and love. It's not the new version of the Red Skull. It's the old one. Part of me wishes that they would just stay with the new continuity, but I guess this is their way of bringing the Red Skull back. Now, next up is you have the new X-Men. I have issues with this one. Because what you're doing here is, this is Marvel's way of bringing Jean Grey back without bringing her back. And I don't know, I really just don't know what to think about it. There's a part of me that's going, don't buy this book. Just don't. You're going to be disappointed. But at the same time, when I'm looking at the sample artwork, I'm thinking, this could be potentially really good. I mean, excuse me. You have Hank meeting Hank. And what's going to happen with that? In theory, Hank now maybe doesn't need to drink that potion to turn himself into the Beast. How would that change things? Think about how many times Jean Grey died, and now she maybe doesn't need to die. All it takes is just somebody to save things. And since this is written by Bendis and illustrated by Stuart Immonen, it's just going to be a top-tier book. I mean, we're looking at already, potentially, Uncanny Avengers and all new X-Men on the very, very top. Because people are just going to eat this thing up. I'm going to get issue number 1, but I don't know if I'm going to keep getting issues. From what it also looks like, is it doesn't look like it's just going to be them. It looks like they're going to be bringing in existing X-Men, so I'm really curious to see how that's going to mix. Alright, now we have Iron Man with Gillen and Land. I like Land's illustrations when he's drawing Iron Man. I hate Land's illustrations when he's drawing people. I'm not buying this book. I don't think this book's going to get any significant change up or down. I think if you like Iron Man, you're going to keep reading Iron Man. I think if anything, people are going to drop it because you're not going to have the existing creative team who's just been stellar. You know, I cannot say enough good things about how Iron Man's been going. You know, like Fraction has just been doing an outstanding job. And if anything, like I said, I don't see Gillen ever reaching that level. I mean, Gillen's run on the X-Men has not been, in my opinion, stellar. I mean, now I know there's X-Men fans out there who will argue with me tooth and nail, but just reading the Gillen Uncanny run with Sinestro versus the Five Phoenixes just proved to me that he cannot write to the same level of caliber as Fraction. So I'm definitely not buying this. I'm very grateful I can drop this book now. Okay, Thor, God of Thunder. Jason Aaron and Ribic. I hate to say it, but I'm going to pick this thing up. I don't think the story necessarily looks like it's going to be anything wow, like an innovation in Thor, but I think the artwork is interesting, and Aaron's a hit and miss writer. I think there's a lot of stuff that he does do that's really good, and there is some stuff that just isn't maybe as strong. So I think if anything, this is going to be good to give it a try, and then maybe after 2 or 3 issues, you see how this thing goes. Then I'll know for sure if this is a keeper or a dud. Part of me is hoping it's going to be a dud, so this way I have less books to buy. But I don't know. This could potentially be really good. AN-X is going to be your crossover between Marvel and not Marvel, Mutant X and Avengers. It's like a team-up book. I think this is going to be hit and miss. I don't know if I'm going to buy it or not yet. Captain America. This is the one thing that had me wondering. Because, you know, at the end of AVX, you're supposed to have this coming together thing. Which it does look like it's happening. But in this here, Captain America is, like, out of time. And I don't understand why they're having Captain America out of time when, you know, it's, you know, everything's supposed to be together again. Because he's, like, in the saga of the Dimension Z. I'm like, that sounds like Dragon Ball. But regardless, it's Rick Remender, and it's John Romita Jr. So you really can't go wrong with this. This is going to be an amazing book. It's going to take Cap in a different direction than what we're normally used to seeing, and I think that this is going to be a good thing, especially with Remender. Remender's been solid with his Secret Avengers and his X-Force. I'm definitely buying this. X-Men Legacy, this is dealing with Legion. I'm not buying it. I don't really care about Legion at all. I wish that he just disappeared, and they didn't need. I just wish they threw him in the vault, locked him away, and we don't have to deal with seeing him ever again. But yeah, I'm just not going to buy it. Okay, we have Fantastic Four with Fraction and Bagley. This is definitely going to be a buy for me. Fraction's been a really, I think his run has been very, very good with Iron Man. So I'm just going to carry, hopefully that's going to carry over to Fantastic Four. With Bagley doing the art, I think the art's going to be solid. I mean, I don't know what else I need to say about it. It's just, I think that this is going to be one of those to watch. And I think it's going to be good to get away from Hickman, because Hickman's been doing this epic storyline, and now I think we need to get away from that and go back to something different. And so I'm definitely going to be on board with this. Now, I am not going to be on board with FF. I think FF, even though it's written by Fraction, it's going to be one of these quirky books, and there's going to be too many books coming out, and I just don't want to deal with it. I mean, I know Mike Aldred he's a really talented artist, and I think this book is going to have a very unique and interesting feel to it. But I'm going to play the waiting game, and if it's really, really good, maybe I'll get the trades for it. But I just can't keep up with everything else. So that's going to be a pass for me. Deadpool. I don't know. I was on the fence with Deadpool. Originally I was going to go, nah, I don't need to get it. But then when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy it. With Deadpool, though, I think the one thing that people are going to have to worry about is, are they going to be able to keep up the same level of creativity with humor? And if they're able to do that, Deadpool will be fine. Avengers Assemble, I didn't buy the first, 6 or 7 that have come out. I'm not buying this. To me, this is just Marvel's movie propaganda book, and I want nothing to do with it. Okay, this is pretty much Avengers stuff still. Avengers Academy is over. Secret Avengers. Vending Spider-Man's the same. Spider-Man's the same. I will say, though, Venom, once Remender left Venom, the quality has dropped significantly. And I read those last 2 issues that came out. I'm dropping Venom. Let's see, I don't think they have it in here, but if you look online, they have the Avengers book. That's the other book I think that's going to be the #1 book. Because this one there's going to be 20-some character roster. You got all the key movie Avengers. You have Wolverine, Cannonball, Hulk is in it. Lots of other XMen type characters. There's a character that looks like it's going to be Human Torch. It's either a Human Torch, it could be Sunspot, it could be the android Human Torch, could be even a brand new character for all I know. That's the other book that's not in here that it's going to be the one to watch. That one will definitely probably end up being the #1 book. Now, let's see here. I don't think there's anything else. Because, for the most part, the X-Men books... Yeah, the X-Men books pretty much stay the same. Like the core X-Men. Wolverine and the X-Men Extreme, Gambit. Yeah, so anyways, as you can see, the Marvel Now, it's just touching on certain key parts to it, but where it does, they don't need to do anything to, they're leaving that alone. Part of me was actually surprised that they're changing up the Hulk, but I think the Hulk needed a change anyways, because those last issues of the Hulk, at least the ones right before when I stopped reading it, were just horrible. Completely and utterly horrible. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at for the new Marvel Now books. I'm really curious to see what you guys are going to be picking up out of the Marvel Now. And so let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to the most. If you're reading one of the Marvel Now books, and is there any of these that you're gonna drop suddenly? and what book are you looking forward to the least. So let me know. Don't forget to like the Facebook link that's down there because we give away comics. And if you have any other comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And I'll have more reviews and stuff like that later. Promise that there won't be... Oh, also, I just forgot. Don't forget to get Infinity Gauntlet if you haven't bought it yet. It looks like it's coming back into print. So, along with a couple other Infinity books and Thanos. So until next time.